Hey socialites, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Ariell. I create mostly beauty videos, a little bit of fashion, as well as lifestyle vlogs. So be sure to hit the subscribe button so you too can become a socialite. So today is going to be another fragrance review. I'm going to be reviewing KIRKE from the house of TIZIANA Terenzi. Now this fragrance launched in 2015 and it's classified as a fruity fragrance or fruity sweet fragrance, which is a bit interesting to me because I feel like anytime you mention anything by TIZIANA Terenzi that you would have to add musky in there or spicy in there if you know anything about their fragrances, but it is technically classified as a fruity fragrance, which it is fruity, you guys, not even gonna lie, but it is fruity with a twist. So I was first introduced to KIRKE a couple years ago. I got this for my birthday like a couple of birthdays ago, and we were just strolling through Saks. I was actually in there for some shoes, and there was a couple ladies there. I guess they were sort of like reps from the brand, and they were having a sale in Saks on fragrances that day. And you know, they kind of fanned us over to their table and were trying to introduce us to the brand. Now at the time, this was a couple years ago, at the time I was strictly into, by the way, those sort of fresh fruity fragrances, sort of upbeat, mostly designer. I really wasn't into super moody or spicy or even niche fragrances whatsoever. I didn't really understand them. I just kind of stuck to the really girly, pretty sweet fruity fragrances for the most part. So I was testing a lot of the fragrances. It was just like, ooh, I felt like it was something that was a little bit too masculine, or a lot masculine in my opinion at the moment. We got to KIRKE, you guys, and when they sprayed that one, I was like, wait a minute, that has a twist. And Mr. was with me, he smelled it and he was like, okay, maybe we can do this one for you. You might enjoy this one, because it did have that sort of fruity twist to it. I would definitely say that, especially at the time, this was the most different, the most completely unique fragrance, unlike anything I had in my collection. So let me give it a spray. So on initial spray, you guys, in the air, you're getting sweet, fruity, just lovely. You get a bit of musk in there just on initial spray. So it does kind of get you when you first spray it if you love a fruity sweet fragrance. But as it dries down, you guys, it gets deeper, a bit moodier. It starts to get a little bit more spicy and definitely musky. TIZIANA Terenzi is definitely known for having that signature, I want to say it's like some sort of musk undertone to it that's a bit strong, and I actually smell that DNA in most of their fragrances. I can tell it's one of those scents to where if you smell it on somebody, you're gonna know, even if it's not KIRKE, you're gonna know that it's a TIZIANA Terenzi fragrance. So let me quickly tell you the notes of KIRKE. So the top notes is passion fruit, peach, pear, raspberry, cassis, and sand. The middle notes is lily of the valley, and the base note is musk, sandalwood, patchouli, and heliotrope. Y'all, and it's actually giving all of these. This is a really complex fragrance, as you can tell from hearing the notes that's involved in it, but you guys, it is beautifully mixed. When I tell you the way they put it together is so smooth. You definitely get the creaminess from the sandalwood and vanilla. It's in there, just that creamy sort of warmness. You smell all of the fruits, especially on the opening. It's just very sweet and fruity and inviting, and that's what got me, was the fruitiness to it. And lily of the valley, although I don't know what it smells like alone, it's one of those notes that I find is in probably 95% of the fragrances I love contain lily of the valley. So apparently I must be a lily of the valley fan. So after about that 5-minute mark, you guys, the fragrance sort of changes. You definitely smell the fruits and you smell that musky TIZIANA Terenzi DNA I was talking about, but then it also gives clean and fresh at the same time. It's just fresh, clean. It's a bit upbeat and moody at the same time. It is a beautiful fragrance, y'all. It gives expensive, luxurious. Although I wear it during the day, this is a type of fragrance that would be beautiful for like a date night, a moody evening or something like that, but I wear it all the time during the day. Although this is a beautiful, lovely scent to me, I haven't forgot where I came from, meaning I'm sort of new to these sort of moodier, more complex niche fragrances. So I know that this won't be for everybody. This is a strong powerhouse, you guys. This is one of those fragrances, when you smell it, you're going to smell it all day long, 10 plus hours. One of those fragrances that you almost have to shower to get it off of you. That scent bubble around you where you can smell yourself, it never really goes away with this fragrance, which I can appreciate. So let's talk about who wears this fragrance. I feel like this fragrance is somebody who is bold. This could be considered like an alpha female fragrance, although I feel like it could be unisex as well. Because of the boldness and the musk in this fragrance, I could definitely see a man wearing this fragrance as well, but I think it does lean, I'm not even gonna say it leans feminine. I feel like this is a unisex straight across the board, which was surprising to me that I love this fragrance so much, because I tend to like straight up feminine fragrances. If it's anywhere in between that sort of strong or that sort of stronger musk where it could lean towards a man being able to wear it, I usually don't like those type of fragrances, y'all, but this one's everything, and it was an immediate yes for me. So the person that wears this fragrance is a bold person. You have to be somebody that wants people to smell you when you walk into the room, because this is what this gives. It's very upscale and luxurious. So when I picture a lady wearing this, I picture a woman in like a business suit, or maybe a long maxi that has like a Birkin bag, or you know, like the Louis Vuitton on the go bag or something like that. Like, it's just really classy, upscale. It's a mature fragrance as well, even though it doesn't give old lady or nothing like that. Don't get it twisted, but I can't see like a 18-year-old girl wanting to wear KIRKE, if you get what I mean. So I would say this fragrance is maybe for the mid to late 20s all the way up. Especially when I first got this fragrance, I was wearing it everywhere. Like, I was spraying it every single morning, wearing it regardless where I was going, the grocery store, the mall, running errands. But I would say ideally this fragrance is for, you know, a beautiful brunch, you know, a beautiful dinner, a nice upscale breakfast. I would say this is one of the more fancier fragrances. In my opinion, I feel like it's a more fancier fragrance, although like I said, I'll wear it anywhere. I would definitely say this gives year round, because it's a little bit moodier and spicy. I could definitely see this being a great fragrance for the winter months or the colder months. And because it does have that fruity brightness to it, it gives summertime and spring as well. With this fragrance, there's really no need to overspray it, just because it's one of those strong powerhouse fragrances. You don't have to go super crazy with spraying this, because you're gonna smell this fragrance regardless. And as far as layering combinations with this, it is very layered. It has a lot going on. It has the muskiness, it has the clean to it, it has the fruits. So I'm not sure about layering with this fragrance. With all of my fragrances, I do put a base down, which is baby oil gel, and spray on top of that, because that really helps with the longevity for your fragrance to stay a lot longer throughout the day, if not all day long. So that's pretty much how I layer it. If I were to sort of add something to this fragrance, it would be something to sort of sweeten it up a little bit more or tone it down. Maybe like a straight up linear vanilla scent or something like that you could probably layer with it, but it's really no need to layer with this. This is a fragrance that I like for it to shine all by itself in all of its beautiful complexities. Another fragrance that I want to briefly touch on before I get out of here, you guys, is called Herba Pura, because it's often compared to and mentioned when talking about KIRKE. For me, although there are many similarities in the two fragrances, they do differ quite a bit. So this is Herba Pura. I did get a scent box sample from it. It's kind of like Scentbird, but they have another subscription service that I found out about called Scent Box. box, and they had Herba Pura on there, you guys, so I was able to compare the two. So Herba Pura is classified as an ambery fragrance that's also fruity and citrusy. So the top notes of Herba Pura is Sicilian orange, Calabrian bergamot, and Sicilian lemon. The middle notes is fruits, just assorted fruits, and then the base notes is white musk, Madagascar, vanilla, and amber. So they do have some similar notes, although Herba Pura does have some different type of fruits. The fruit that I smell in KIRKE is most definitely different than the fruits that I smell in Herba Pura, and Herba Pura is a little bit higher on the citrusy spectrum. So it's fruity, but it's like more of like the citrusy type fruits in there, whereas KIRKE is just those sweet, you know, the passion fruits type of fruit, just those sweet fruits, not necessarily the citrusy fruits. I do want to add that Herba Pura is, if you thought KIRKE was strong, Herba Pura is on another level. When you talk about beast mode, now Herba Pura was one for sure when I sprayed it, that super strong opening that you get from some of these stronger niche fragrances, it never goes away the entire time. And I felt like after I took a shower, Herba Pura still didn't come off. Like, you really have to scrub it, and some people really love that, although for me it was a little bit too strong, because you got to think KIRKE was just barely, you know, for me that one's strong, and it's like, ooh, okay, I'm getting introduced to this. It's strong for me. So Herba Pura is definitely on that out of this world strong, which was a little bit much for my personal taste. Herba Pura also has a little bit of that cleanness in there that I smell in KIRKE, but it's a different type of clean. Think about if you had, and don't get me wrong that these smell like any type of cleaning products, because it does not. But I'm just trying to get you to think along the lines of what I'm thinking about. So think about if you have a clean kitchen here and a clean kitchen here, but this clean kitchen was cleaned with Pine Sol, and this clean kitchen was cleaned with Clorox cleanup or something. So they're both fresh and clean, but it's a different clean. So that's like the best way I can explain it. Neither one smell like any type of cleaning products, but it's just different. You get fruity clean here, you get fruity clean here, but it's a different fruity clean. Okay, they must have used different ingredients, but it gives definitely the same vibe. They're both strong powerhouses, but Herba Pura for sure is stronger and lasts even longer if you thought that it could be a longer past KIRKE. Comment down below and let me know if you've tried either one of these fragrances, or if you're interested in trying these fragrances. If you're new here, welcome. I would love for you to subscribe and come join the family. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. 'Cause I've been where you are. You're too scared to show me love.